So I'm gonna come sit here.
Oh, we're like doing it like this way.
Yep.
Okay.
Just like this. Yeah. Just sitting here having a conversation over a.
Should I move the chair at all? I should just
No.
leave it
Right.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
It's framed.
And I almost did
Yeah.
just out
Yeah.
of.
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. So.
Oh wait, sorry. Can I? Oh, are you already?
Yeah, it's recording, but I don't have to, start it.
Well, I gotta like throw on something.
Oh,
over here.
okay.
I was just
Fair enough.
trying to
Do what you
stand
got to do.
yeah.
I'll wait, and then when you're ready, tell me.
I mean, I have no idea what it looks like. So if you could edit like
I will.
a little bronzer or something on me.
Yeah,
with
I don't know
face tune of me or whatever.
I don't know what any of those words are.
I know the words. I don't know the apps. I mean, I know of them. I don't have them.
No, what I'm saying is I don't know what those words mean.
Oh,
Bronze
like-
and tuner and all of that.
Oh, Face Tuner is an app, and it like makes
Oh.
apparently like.
Oh, okay.
That's when like you can tell when people.
Will it
kind
give
of
me hair? Will it do that
It
for
might
me?
be. Able,
Okay.
I don't know because I've never.
Okay. Fair enough.
Question. I've never used it.
So, okay. Can you? I know you, but can you just tell us who you are and where you're from?
Sure. My name's Allison DiMichele. I'm from Chicago.
Okay.
Who I am. I love air hockey.
Yes.
And as of today, I was elected the
That's right.
secretary and treasurer. I'm sorry, that is wrong.
Historian.
Secretary and historian.
Yep.
So I'm really excited about that. As you know, your son was elected president.
yeah.
So I'm really excited that we have like some like younger blood in
Me
the
too.
organization.
Finally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we can actually do a lot of positive changes.
Yes.
So I'm really looking forward to it.
Good. So what do you do for a living?
I'm in technology sales.
Okay, so can you tell me more?
Sure.
You're selling technology.
Yeah. Really the whole solution to a client. So we can cover anything from like desktops or servers, like
Okay.
moving into the data center. We also sell networking solutions, moving data centers to the cloud, like that whole cloud migration. Microsoft services,
Okay.
Microsoft software, and really services just to.
So your
encapsulate
company
everything.
provides these services, and your job is to find. Do you have to prospect for new clients?
Yeah.
Things like okay.
Yeah.
So it's almost like an outside sales,
Yeah,
or okay.
exactly.
All right. Cool beans. All right.
I
And so
usually,
do you
like,
do
work
much
from
cold
home.
calling?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I feel like you should have like a good, healthy blend of like the accounts that you already have.
Sure.
But like always be looking for new business because you just never know like what's going to be happening in the industry.
Sure.
And there's new startups happening all the time. So
Do they? But I mean, are you paid your salary to do X, or do you get, if you find more clients, you get commissions for that as well?
Both,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Awesome. All right. Great. Well, I'm a big fan of the sales game. My father was in sales his whole life, and I never thought that I would like sales, but when I started my business, I realized sales is fun. So.
I really like the aspect that I get to like build relationships with clients that like will become my friends, sort of. But then I'm able to like expense really fun dinners with them.
Okay, well.
So it's like I get to try like the
true.
best restaurants in the city because like I'm
Right,
the one paying,
right, yeah.
the company is.
Right.
So that's
Sure.
like a really nice added perk.
Yeah. So tell me, how did you discover air hockey?
That's a really good question because as I think back, I probably played it as a kid, but it didn't really register with me. Probably 5 or 6 years ago. I think it was my brother, or maybe one of my brother's friends was having a birthday party at one of the bars in Chicago. It's called Emporium Logan Square.
Yeah, right.
Which is now where we have our weekly tournaments. But they had like 3 air hockey tables there, and it's a bar and an arcade, so you can like hang out with your friends, and so I was playing air hockey mostly, and I had like gone through like my brother and all of his friends, and just it was like so fun to me, but I like kept winning. And I like didn't go back for like probably like a year or two, and I kind of forgot about it. But then I was dating this guy who is pretty competitive. I'm pretty competitive.
Yeah.
And we had like started dating, and we'd already played like a handful of sports. And I was trying to figure out like what we could play next that I would have like a slight advantage in.
Sure.
So I was like Googling I don't know, like bar sports in Chicago, and the weekly tournament that Dan runs
Oh,
popped
the
up.
meetup, yeah.
And so I think I found it on like a Tuesday. I went the very next day. I made like one of the girls I work with come with me, Vera Spence, and we walked in. And it was like nothing we've ever seen before. Like Matt Lemoyne was like taping his fingers,
Yeah, you're
and
like,
like
"What's
Dan
going on
wasn't. Yeah,
here?"
Dan wasn't there yet. And so Maris and I are like, "What is going on?" She actually compared it to like the horse dancing, which I thought was like really funny because like it kind of is like when you just like drift and like kind of fake around, dressage, right? So I just like got a kick out of it, and I remember like going up to Matt and being like, "Hi, like, do you run the tournament?" And he was like, "No, the guy, like, he'll be around in a couple of minutes." And just when we saw him like taping his fingers, it was yeah.
You're like, wow.
I think then I was
something.
like, maybe I'm like in over my head.
Yeah, perhaps, maybe.
Yeah.
Wow. So, well, is air hockey or was air hockey your first passion pursuit, or was there something else?
I've always played sports.
Okay.
Like growing up, I played on my brother's t-ball team because they didn't have like a girls' team.
Sure.
In my neighborhood growing up, like there weren't a whole lot of girls. My brother's 4 years older than me, so if I wanted to like do anything outside, I had to kind of prove myself that I was like not only like good enough to play with these boys that are 4 years older than me, but like I had to hold my own so I could get invited back.
Sure.
And so I think like that's where like my drive and like my competitiveness kind of came from, because if I couldn't play with them, like I didn't have anyone to play with. And then I played like softball and basketball in like middle school and elementary school, and then played high school basketball and tennis. But I just remember like at the end of the tennis season, then that was probably the sport I liked the best. I was just like relieved that it was over.
Yeah.
I like didn't have to play anymore. I guess like it kind of like run its course. And I remember like thinking that all of my friends have this like thing that they are like really passionate about, and I didn't have one at the time. So I think air hockey came into my life like at
that moment.
like that moment. So
wow,
it's been great.
Yeah, yeah. It's a passion for all of us. So. This is a cliche question, but I think it's good. Is what does air hockey mean to you?
I mean, how much time do you have?
Well, take your time. Tell me. Help me understand.
What air hockey means to me?
What does air hockey mean to you?
Do you want me to just like give you like my honest answer?
No, I would prefer if you lie to me.
Okay. Maybe a second.
It's fine. We don't have to talk about it right now either if you don't want to.
Oh, you're a therapist. Of course, like you know what you're doing here.
Just asking.
Oh, I didn't put two and two together soon enough. Okay. What does air hockey mean to me?
Well, my guess is the community means a lot to you.
Yeah. I think air hockey itself, it means the world to me. My goal probably since I played Sarah in our first challenge match, and you came up to me after and you kind of like pointed your finger, and you were like, you're gonna be good, or like something along those lines.
Sure,
and I was
yeah.
like, okay, Tim Weissman, thank you. And from that point on, like, I mean, it had been ongoing, but I just like, I want so badly to like be the first female top 10 player.
Yeah.
So a couple of years ago, when we had the last Texas State tournament, it was like getting better because the last world tournament we had before then was the 2019 AHPA tournament in July. I finished like really terribly, like 40s, 50s maybe. And 2 weeks later, I had shoulder surgery to like
Right, I remember
from like
that, yeah.
repetitive strain.
Right, right.
Air hockey. So the next tournament back, I just really wanted to prove myself, and that was Texas State of 2019. And I remember like walking into the tournament, and Danny Hines was there, and he hadn't gone to the last tournament because someone had broken his wrist with a puck that had flown off the table.
Yeah.
And so I was really excited to see Danny, but Danny like seemed kind of off. And I remember like asking him like on the side, like, hey, like, is everything okay? Like, is it your wrist? And he's like, no, I'm fine. And so I had asked him if he would like play a warm-up game with me, and he did. And then he ended up reffing my first match.
Right.
And then after he pulled me aside and told me that he actually wasn't okay, and that his wife had to take a biopsy, and they think it could be breast cancer. Well, like, I mean, I told Danny, like, how sorry I was to hear it, and then told him that, like, I could actually, like, understand what he's going through because, like, I'm going through the same thing. And he stopped in his tracks, and he's like, what are you talking about? Like what's going on? And I told him that, like, when I came back, I had a biopsy that was scheduled, like, the Tuesday following the tournament, and he's like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. I couldn't do it prior because, like, I am taking anti-inflammatories for my shoulder, and this is, like, my first tournament back, so I wouldn't have been able to, like, even play in the tournament because it's, like, a procedure that's surgical procedure. And so we were like, okay, we're just gonna, like, play in the tournament, we're gonna, like, keep each other posted, and we won't say anything at all during the tournament.
Yeah.
So for me, like, that tournament was potentially, like, the only time I could be top 10, because like I was gonna have at least one surgery. Like, I ended up having 3.
Right.
But I knew more than likely, like, my life would be completely different after the tournament. So I won my first round. My second round was against Marcos, who was, I think he was ranked 6th in the world at the time, and like, no one really took me seriously because, like, my prior rankings, my prior finishes was like 40 or 50, so why would they? And so Marcus, God love him, was still wearing his pants. He always plays in shorts, but he was still wearing his pants, and he had his glasses on. Like, he like didn't even put his contacts in, which honestly, like, I didn't even notice, you know. Yeah. And so I ended up beating him in the match. It went to I think it went to match point, if I'm not mistaken, but it definitely went to seven games.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just remember, like, the crowd, like, afterwards, just because I was the underdog. It was just, like, so amazing, and I've been, like, trying to, like, capture that feeling again.
I know.
Yeah, and then I played George Anderson the following round, and he's a multiple-time top 10 player. I was able to, like, win against him, and then I played your son, so that ended my winning streak, which I made fair enough.
Good, great tournament for anyone.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So I ended up finishing 12th. I think I was seated like 37th maybe going into it. And it was the highest female finish of the tournament, and I think it was the second highest female finish, like, ever. So I got back to Chicago. I had the biopsy 2 days later. No, the next day I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And through that, like, when I got the call, and they told me, my first thought was, what about air hockey? My second thought was, what about my challenge match with, I'm sorry. My first thought was, well, this is gonna fuck up air hockey. My second thought was, what about my challenge match with Robbins? Because I knew I was supposed to play him, like, before the end of the year. And I think just having those goals of, like, knowing that, like, you want to get better, and, like, putting everything you can with, like, whatever your limitations are, like, doing everything you can possibly. And I think it kind of, like, relates back to sales too, in a way. So I think just I don't know, because I love air hockey so much, like I feel like in a sense it like got me through like some hard times because I just kept like focusing on like I need to do this physical therapy. I need to like take these steps because like if I wait any longer, it'll be so much longer that I like won't be able to play air hockey. So I feel like not only that, but just the players in the community, the Chicago players especially, like they're I would have never imagined because we have nothing else in common really.
Yeah, right. These people, right.
Right, but it's like I have the best time with them, and like we just joke around and like bust each other's balls, and it's amazing.
And just a great community, great friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what's so great about air hockey is that like we're always trying to help people. We're always trying to like help their game, improve their game somehow. But like help them out in like real life too.
Right. It extends. So it kind of like, to me, what I heard you say is that in some ways you were robbed of a potential future. And is that a finality in your mind at this point, or do you see it differently, as if it just pushed it back further?
Yeah, I feel like it pushed it back further. Not only that, but then like once I was done with surgeries, well, I had another surgery in May, and like as I was recovering, then there were the riots in Chicago and like the looting. So I really wasn't going out much, and it was like the midst of like coronavirus.
Right.
And so Chicago restrictions were a whole lot different than like,
well,
let's say.
Yeah, here.
I didn't want to call it out, but
I mean, nobody. Yeah. Okay.
And so you guys were able to like practice and like.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you guys can practice anytime you want.
Sure. But I know what you mean. It's like the community went back to living normally, and in other pockets of the country, it's not, and that holds you back in this. Yeah.
But I don't begrudge anyone the
Well,
opportunity.
I understand.
Like I'm just jealous that I don't have it.
No, I understand.
I mean?
No, and I get it.
Yeah.
So is it okay you tell me what your current status is?
Yeah. I'm no evidence of disease. Okay. So I see an oncologist every 3 months just to like make sure everything's fine. Okay. And then like after a few, I still take a daily cancer drug just to prevent recurrence.
Sure.
But I was fortunate enough to not have to go through radiation or because of the type of surgery I had, and I didn't have to do chemo either. Yeah. So I just feel really fortunate that that was my diagnosis.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry that you faced all of that. I really am.
Thank you.
And I didn't anticipate I wasn't trying to get you to be,
No.
But thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, of course.
Air hockey means a lot to you, let's just say at this point. How has air hockey changed you?
Didn't we already address this?
I don't think we changed what it means to you, but how has it changed you? Maybe it hasn't.
Well, I think I look at air hockey differently.
Okay.
Like I look at it as like not just a physical game, but I have to like get my mental game strong. So I think it's changed that about me, that I've like I always thought I had a strong mental game. But I'm learning like it could be even stronger. Okay. So I think that's been a good learning experience.
And I think that's a common thread that I hear, and people that think, well, you know what, I actually need a game plan, and I need to, you know what I mean, like think things through a little bit more, and then that translates out into other areas of their life, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, Sarah actually. We were chatting the other day, and she asked me what my goals were for Worlds. I didn't even have to think about it. I was like, I want to be the highest finishing female. I want to be in the top 20, and I want to just play my the best air hockey I possibly can. Yeah. So.
And it makes me think a little bit about you and Sarah and the rivalry that is there, and the friendship that is there. That's, talk about that for a second.
It's so interesting because I've never had something like that before, and Sarah's just the sweetest person on earth. And so I think there's nothing but like good-natured like friendship.
Sure.
And when we challenge each other, I mean, she's challenged me once, but
Fair enough.
just because she wanted to.
Okay.
I just take it as like
That's fine.
flattering.
She did it, yeah.
I just think that we just both really respect each other's game, and we want each other to be like the best they possibly can, and like then we can compete on like even a higher level.
Sure.
So,
Okay.
I think Sarah's great. I admire that she, is not only playing in the tournament, but she's running a tournament. She's heading up committees for tournaments.
Sure. Yeah.
I know I haven't been in the USA very long, but I feel like I've just seen her like grow so much, and over the past 4 years.
Sure. Yeah.
And I love it.
Yeah.
She pushes me. I feel like I push her a little.
Well, and she has grown a lot in 4 years. Like 4 years ago, she was like 17.
Yeah, right? So, yeah.
She was a kid. So, what do you feel the world needs to know about air hockey?
I think. Well, I think one of the reasons that I love air hockey especially is that there isn't like a women's division or a men's division.
Right.
Because I feel like air hockey is one of the few sports where men and women
Right.
can be equals.
Right.
Or that gap is much
Got it.
smaller.
I understand.
So I like that we don't have like number one female,
Sure. I
number
understand.
one male. Like I just want to play with the best players.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
I like that it's all inclusive.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
We have so many people from so many different walks of life.
Yes. Yeah. With different philosophies and different personalities and all that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. So I've got kind of a fun question to wrap up with, and that is, if you would tell me, what is your best air hockey shot?
Are you going to be telling people about this before the tournament?
I won't say it to
Okay.
anyone, no.
My left wall under.
Okay, you're left wall under, and you're right-handed. Remind me, you're right-handed or left-handed?
Left-handed.
Okay, so you're saying a right wall under,
No, a left wall under.
a left wall under, and you're left-handed.
Yes.
Okay, so a power bank. Okay. And how do you tap it up this way, or do you tap it up this way?
No,
How do you do it?
like with the mallet. Do you want to show you?
Sure.
Or just-
Yeah.
Oh, I don't normally use a low top.
Oh, well,
I'll just show you with my hand. How about
Okay.
that? So I like go all the way back here with like I
Okay.
usually have to have I'm usually on the table. So
Yeah, I understand. I get
okay,
it.
so I'm
You
like
that.
this.
Yeah.
Like tuck back really
Okay.
far, and then
So you pull your arm back really far.
yeah.
Okay.
And then I either hit an under
All right.
or
All right.
I hit a cut.
Cut. Okay, got it. Yep. That's the cut and the under is that's the classic attack. Yeah. What shot do you wish you had at the highest level?
Billy's cut.
Billy's cut. And so, what would that mean, though? Because when you're pulling your arm really far back, and you do sort of long drifts too, Billy's sort of a short one, right?
Yeah.
So
But he
it's
has that much control over everything,
Okay.
and I feel like I need the longer drift to like know where my shot's
Right.
gonna
No,
be.
I'm just trying to imagine his cut in your game. Okay. And so you would just would you still make it a long, or would you?
No, I would do it
You
like he does it.
short? Okay.
Yeah.
And just is it the accuracy
Well, for me,
for him? Why you love that shot?
oh, it's everything my shots are. Yeah, his shots are
Okay,
very
very
accurate.
accurate, gotcha, okay.
Mine, I'm really
Okay.
working on it.
Fair enough.
It's just
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Well,
not going as
puck
fast as I
control,
would
puck
hope.
control.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you sitting down with me.
Of course.
Thank you for sharing, and I hope that you have a wonderful tournament.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
So good to see you.
You too.